What's going on, guys? Welcome to Grab the Remote. I'm your host, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a long time since we uploaded videos on this channel, but I figured it's been long enough. It's time to start uploading videos again. And today we're going to be doing my most anticipated movies of 2023. This should be a great year for movies. It really should. There's going to be so many great movies, whether they're big blockbusters, smaller movies, medium-sized movies. There's going to be a ton of great stuff out there, and I can't wait. So before we get into my top 10, I'm going to give you guys my honorable mentions. And I have 8 honorable mentions, and I know it's a lot because people will usually give 5 honorable mentions. There's just so many movies I'm excited for, I have to include an additional 3 movies on my honorable mentions. So I have 8 for you guys. These are all movies that I'm super excited for. So let's start off with the first one, and it is Maestro. Now, to be fair, I have no clue if Maestro is going to come out in 2023 or 2024. But it's Bradley Cooper. It's a second directed movie. I love A Star Is Born. I'm assuming it's coming out in 2023 because they were filming last year. So I would assume it's going to come out this year. That's just what I'm assuming. October to December, somewhere in that ballpark. But I'm excited, man. I absolutely love A Star Is Born. I think Bradley Cooper did a fantastic job with his first movie he's ever directed. So Maestro had to be on this list. Next up is Napoleon. It's Ridley Scott directing it. It's Joaquin Phoenix playing Napoleon Bonaparte. And I'm excited, it's Joaquin Phoenix, Ridley Scott working together again. What Joaquin Phoenix does is he doesn't just choose any movie because it's a paycheck. He chooses movies that are going to push him as an actor, that are going to challenge him as an actor. And this should be a movie that will do that. And I really do hope this is on the same level as The Martian that Ridley Scott did, not like an Alien Covenant, but I'm really excited for this movie. I think this has a potential to be an absolute banger. So Napoleon has to be on my list. Next up is Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. It's his take on Star Wars. It's going to be on Netflix. I wish it would be released nationwide in theaters. That's what I really wish would happen with Rebel Moon, because I just have a feeling the scope of this movie is going to be absolute massive. And Netflix is not going to be cheap when it comes to the money. They're going to spend whatever they need to make sure this movie is as good as it can be and looks as good as it can. And they already confirmed a sequel is coming out. So that really does it makes me more excited for the movie. So I had to include Rebel Moon. Next up, Barbie. Why am I excited for Barbie? I have no clue. It's Greta Gerwig directing this movie. I absolutely love The Lady Bird, and Little Women is a good movie too, but it has Margot Robbie in it, Ryan Gosling, Simu Liu, has a really good cast in this movie. A few years ago when this movie got announced, if you told me this would be on my honorable mentions as far as what I'm looking forward to the most in 2023, I would laugh at you. I would laugh at you, because why would I be excited for Barbie? But here I am. I'm excited to see Barbie. Comes out when Oppenheimer comes out. That's going to be a crazy day. So Barbie, I'm including it in my honorable mentions. Next up is Ferrari. It's Michael Mann, Adam Driver. I'm excited. I can't wait to see this movie. Sounds interesting. Adam Driver is one of the best actors working today. So anytime he's in a movie, I'm gonna be excited. Plus he's working with Michael Mann, so that really does increase my excitement. So I'm including Ferrari. Next up is Equalizer 3. I did not think this movie would ever happen. I thought we would just get the 2 movies and that was it. But look, man, I love the first Equalizer. I think it's great, and I really did enjoy the second one as well, so I had to include it on this list. Next is Cocaine Bear. Look, man, you tell me there's a movie about a bear who took cocaine and it's going absolutely crazy, I'm going to be excited for the movie, man. Alden Ehrenreich in it. I can't wait. Cocaine Bear had to be my honorable mentions. And then lastly, it's the Super Mario Brothers movie. Look, the look of it's great. The tone of it's great. I love most of the casting, like Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, I think is great. I think Charlie Day as Luigi is actually really good casting as well. And Jack Black as Bowser. Really good choice. There's not a lot of actors that I think would be better for Bowser than Jack Black. But what makes this movie in my honorable mentions and not in my top 10, because I love Mario. So I would imagine, just hearing about this movie, I would put it in my most anticipated. But the reason why it's in my honorable mentions and not in my top 10 is because I just don't buy Chris Pratt as Mario. I don't think Chris Pratt works as Mario. And look, I don't need the most stereotypical Italian voice for Mario in this movie. I don't. But I just don't think the voice works. His accent sounds like it's going in and out. For me personally, it doesn't work, but I'm going to give it a chance. Maybe he knocks it out of the park. Maybe he's fantastic in the movie. But I don't think he's a great choice for Mario. I like Chris Pratt as an actor. I think he's a really good actor. I loved him in the Lego movies. He's great in Moneyball. Obviously, as Star-Lord, he's fantastic too. I think he's a good actor, but I don't buy him as Mario. That's my only thing. But besides that, super excited for the movie. I'm also really curious about Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Like, that is either going to be the best choice or the worst choice for Donkey Kong. So Mario, it's in my honorable mentions. I am looking forward to it. I think Illumination is going to do a fantastic job with this movie. So now let's get into my top 10. At number 10, we have Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Look, man, ever since the fourth Mission Impossible movie, this series has gotten better and better and better. The action is getting better. They're raising the stakes. Tom Cruise is just getting crazier and crazier with these movies. I would not be surprised if we get to the final Mission Impossible movie and Tom Cruise is on the moon and he's diving from the moon straight into Earth. I would not be surprised at all. Like, the action's gonna be incredible. I love the first trailer. You have Haley Atwell is in this movie. This movie looks great. I can't wait to go see it. So Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is my number 10. I can't wait for this movie. My number 9 is John Wick Chapter 4. Look, man, anytime a John Wick movie's coming out, you have to include it in your top 10. I love these movies. They get better and better and better. Keanu Reeves is fantastic. The action just gets more insane. Some of the set pieces they have is fantastic. I can't wait to see this movie. I don't know how many more we're going to get, but I do think John Wick Chapter 4 has the potential to be the best one yet. And it's a high bar, man, because the third movie is fantastic. I absolutely love the third movie. So John Wick Chapter 4 has to be on my list. I believe it comes out in March, so we don't have to wait too much longer to see John Wick. At number 8, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This is a big movie for Marvel. This is a big movie for the MCU, because this is setting up what's to come in Phase 5 and 6 with Kang the Conqueror. We got Kang for the first time. I know we got Jonathan Majors in Loki, but that wasn't really Kang to me. It was a variant of Kang, but that's not the true Kang. I have a feeling in Ant-Man and the Wasp, we're going to get our first look at the true Kang the Conqueror. And look, Peyton Reed has said already, he didn't want Ant-Man 3 to be a palate cleanser. He wanted it to be like an Avengers level film. So this movie, I think, is going to be absolutely insane. You got Bill Murray in this movie, which is pretty cool. Most of the movie is going to be in the quantum realm, which is pretty cool too. I can't wait. I thought the first trailer was really good. I went to go see Avatar: The Way of Water in IMAX, and they showed the trailer there in IMAX 3D. Looks absolutely insane. I think this movie is going to be fantastic. So Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania had to be my top 10 major movie for the MCU. My number 7 is Creed 3. I had to include Creed 3 somewhere in my top 10. I just had to. I love the first two Creed movies. I think when it comes to comparing Creed to the Rocky movies, I think the first Creed is probably the second best of all the Rocky and Creed movies. It's incredible. I thought it should have been nominated for Best Picture, and I really enjoyed Creed 2 as well. I thought it was another really good movie, and it was a proper send-off for Rocky Balboa. I thought it was a really good way to send that character off. Him seeing his son again, I thought it was a really well done movie. And now we got Creed 3, first movie without Rocky Balboa in the movie. You got Jonathan Majors playing the villain in this movie. It's Michael B. Jordan directing this movie too, which is pretty interesting. So Creed 3 has to be my top 10. I thought the first trailer was fantastic, so it is my number 7 most anticipated movie. So there are 4 directors, in my opinion, that whenever they have a movie coming out, it has to be included on my most anticipated list. You know, directors like Quentin Tarantino, Steven Spielberg, there's 4 of them that whenever they have a movie coming out, it has to be on your most anticipated movies list because they're some of the best directors to have ever done it. And at number 6, we have Killers of the Flower Moon, directed by Martin Scorsese. Whenever Martin Scorsese has a movie coming out, I have to include it on my most anticipated list because he is one of, if not the best director of all time. He's a master when it comes to directing. I don't know anything about the movie. I haven't read the book. I'm not going to read the book until I see the movie. But it's Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio working together. It has to be somewhere in my top 10, so it's my number 6, Killers of the Flower Moon. Should be fantastic. So my number 5 movie is going to be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Look, I had to include in my top 10. I had to. Into the Spider-Verse is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. One of the best Spider-Man movies of all time. So I had to include the sequel, and this one looks crazy. The trailers look great. You're going to get so many different universes, so many different Spider-Man in this movie. I can't wait to see this movie. So my number 5 is going to be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. My number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This movie, I have a feeling, is going to tear me up. It's going to tear me apart, and I can't wait. It's James Gunn coming back for, I would believe, to be his final MCU movie. I think this is it, and then after that, he's going to work full-time with DC. I just don't see him coming back to Marvel and working on an MCU movie. I just don't see it happening at all, and this is the final Guardians movie with this group. After this movie, if we're going to get any more Guardians movies, and I think we will, it's going to be a different group. You might have some of the same characters, but it's not going to be the same. You know, I have a feeling we're going to see multiple characters die in this movie, and it's going to be heartbreaking. Rocket seems like the most obvious, just based on what we saw with Thor: Love and Thunder, with Valhalla, right? It just in the trailer, there looks like a shot where Rocket is in Valhalla. So I have a feeling Rocket's not going to make it. Probably not Drax either. Maybe more don't make it as well, but I think this movie is going to be fantastic. I love the Guardians movie, so there's no reason why I would believe this movie's not going to be good. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, my number 4. Number 3, again, there's directors that whenever they have a movie coming out, you have to put it in your most anticipated movies list. One of those is Christopher Nolan. Oppenheimer is my number 3. Absolute stacked cast. It's about the forming of the first atomic bomb. It looks insane. It looks very tense. It looks great. I can't wait to see this movie. This is a must-see. Day one, go see this movie. It's Christopher Nolan. He's going to knock it out of the park. This will be a Best Picture nominated movie, I guarantee you. So Oppenheimer, number 3 on this list. Now we're moving on to my top 2. This was really, really tough for me. I kept going back and forth on these 2, but I'm set on it. I feel like this is where I'm going to be for the entire year. So my number 2 is going to be Dune Part 2. I love the first Dune. I thought Denis Villeneuve did a fantastic job with the first one. Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Javier Bardem. I mean, the cast was absolutely stacked. The cast for the sequel is going to be stacked as well. Austin Butler is going to be in this movie. It sounds great. You know, the first one's fantastic. I can't wait to see this movie. Anytime, Denny's starting to get to the point to where anytime he directs a movie, it has to be in your top 10. He's getting to that point now. I think this is going to be an incredible film. So Dune Part 2 is my number 2. It's a must-see in IMAX. That I can guarantee. Without seeing any footage at all, this will be a must-see in IMAX. And my number 1 most anticipated movie of 2023 is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, if you know me personally, this does not surprise you at all. I love the first 3 Indiana Jones movies. In my opinion, it's a top 3 greatest trilogies of all time. It's one of the greatest trilogies ever made. It's definitely in the top 3. And look, I know Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was not good at all. I get that. But here's the thing. James Mangold is directing this movie. He's a fantastic director. Okay, if it's not going to be Spielberg directing this movie, it should be James Mangold. You know, I think he's somebody that I would trust to make a really good Indiana Jones movie. I have a feeling that Harrison Ford is being sincere when he's talking about how much this movie means to him and how good he believes this movie is. Because, you know, most actors are like, yeah, my movie's great. Go see the movie so I can get a bigger paycheck. Of course, every actor does that. But I really do believe that Harrison Ford is not just saying it so he can make more money. He's saying it because he really does mean it. Like, it really does feel like it's special to him. And I think this movie's going to be great. I really do. I think this is going to be a great way to send off the character of Indiana Jones. I think this is going to be a great finale to this series of films. I can't wait to see this movie. I think it's going to be potentially a masterpiece. It's Indiana Jones. It had to be my top 10. It's my number 1 most anticipated of 2023. All right, and that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to my most anticipated movies of 2023. Over the next couple days, I'll have my best and worst of 2023 coming out, so make sure you stay tuned and check that out. I don't know if Cody is going to record a most anticipated list, a best and worst list. I don't know yet, but if he does, you should see those coming up within the next couple days to week. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to be back uploading videos more frequently. We should be doing movie reviews. Probably not this week. Like, I'm probably not going to review Megan, but next week or the week after, I should be doing movie reviews. I'm just waiting for my Jeep to get fixed. Once it's fixed and I'm able to drive it and all that good stuff, then we will get back to the movie reviews. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new or if you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to Grab the Remote. Also, like the video if you liked the video. Let me know what's your most anticipated movies of 2023 in the comments down below. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Matt, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.